Hello everyone, Rurikhan here, and today I'm going to be giving you a video about the PlayStation Vita. Now, the main reason I'm doing this particular video is because several people have been asking me if it's worth it to own a PlayStation Vita or not, and I'm going to give you my personal thoughts and feedback on that, as well as go over a couple of the features of the Vita. Now, hopefully this will be better footage than the one that I've captured from Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, because that particular footage was captured with a completely different camera. This is a new camera that I basically stole from my father. So yeah, I hope the footage is a lot better, and hopefully with this particular camera I'm going to be able to bring you guys some better gameplay videos of the Vita, because I actually have quite a few titles that I'm excited about in the Vita and that I really want to make videos about those. So anyways, getting started, why did I personally buy a PlayStation Vita? Well, I got a Vita because I plan on doing a bit of traveling in 2013, so I thought I'd like to have some gaming on the go. And there's also a very special title coming to the Vita, which is called Soul Sacrifice, which I really want to play. And I wanted to get that. And ever since I got the Vita, I've also started playing Monster Hunter Unite. Got really into that, which, as you guys probably noticed in the video, which I'm just incredibly passionate about, the Monster Hunter franchise currently. And I've also gotten into this Gaia 3 just yesterday, which was a really cool experience. I had never played this Gaia title before. It came heavily recommended by a friend of mine, so just had to do it. So how does the Vita work, so to speak? I mean, what kind of peripherals do you have? What kind of outputs do you have? Well, the only really output device that you got here is this little thing. You hook up your charger, which it comes in the shape of a USB thing, which means you can connect it to either a transformer to charge up your Vita, or connect it to a computer to transfer data, or PlayStation 3 as well. I think it's also available on the Macintosh. You also have your headphone jack in here. This little box that you got here right in the bottom. Let's see if I can get this open. This right here is your Vita card, the what do you call it? The memory card, the proprietary Sony memory card. Up top, you have two slots. I'm not exactly sure what this one is for. I assume it's probably for the 3G or something. I don't know. I haven't really read too much about this thing. I assumed there would be something for the 3G version of the Vita to put in a SIM card or something, but I'm not sure. Currently, I'm not using this particular thing, so I don't know. You got two buttons for volume here as well, and this is where you place your games. If you look here, you will see that currently I have this Gaia 3, not sure if you guys can see that or not, but it's this Gaia 3. This Gaia 3 cartridge right here. Put it back in. Get in there. Do what I want. There. And this is the power button. It is also the quick, kind of like the sleep button. You just press it once, it goes to sleep. And you can also obviously press it to come back to life, but usually you want to press the PlayStation button itself. In regards of buttons, it has pretty much all the functions that a DualShock 3 has, apart from the vibrate. It doesn't really vibrate as far as I can tell, which is probably a good thing. But anyways, you'll probably notice that, oh, but it only has two triggers, whereas L2 and R2. Well, you have the touchpad here in the back, which you can actually use. You can map several sections of this, so you could like map this corner to be L2, map this corner to be R2, and then you could map this corner to be L3 and R3 if needed be for the particular game of choice that you happen to be playing. It also comes bundled with It also comes with two cameras built in. You got a camera right here in the front. If you guys notice, this is a camera right here. And you also got a camera in the back. You can take pictures. It also uses the camera for enhanced virtual reality games, whatever you want to call it. Basically, you put a couple of cards on the table and you can play a game while using the camera, and, you know, kind of like iToy and that kind of stuff. I don't really care that much about that, but it has that thing. I'm not really going to show it in this video, but it does have it, and it does work pretty seamlessly. It's assuming you have a well-lit room, but it doesn't really require any super special conditions. Like, I put this in a very poorly lit room in a wooden table chock full of other stuff. I just shoved the cards in there and it worked just fine. So I assume it should work. If your conditions are even better, it should just you should even get a better experience out of that. But anyways, let's turn this puppy on and see what we got here, shall we? So right now I'm running it with minimum brightness because mostly it saves your battery, and it still has some pretty decent brightness considering that it's set to the very lowest setting. You can increase the brightness all the way up to the maximum, but it doesn't really give me a big advantage because I'm filming it with the camera. In fact, it actually pretty much blows, the colors start exploding, so I just set this to minimum. It's actually the optimum setting for recording as far as I can tell. Now, one of the advantages and one of the things that got me to purchasing a Vita, besides the fact that I was going to be doing some traveling in 2013, was the fact that PlayStation Plus finally came to the Vita. Now, as you guys know, I've been using PlayStation Plus pretty much since its revamping in July last year. I don't know. Whenever E3 of 2012 was, there was kind of a revamp in the PlayStation Plus service, which made it a lot more relevant. So when they placed that in the Vita, it kind of pushed me even more towards getting the Vita. So through that service, I've gotten Gravity Rush, which you can see here. I've gotten Mutant Blob's Attack. I've also gotten Knit Underground, Mortal Kombat, Big Sky Infinity, and Uncharted Golden Abyss. I've got all that through the PlayStation Plus, as well as this thing, Super Stardust Portable. And I have a couple of more games here, like these little mini things. I've never really played any of them, but I just have them there because they're really, really small. And if I ever want to fool around with that, oh yeah, the Treasure Pack and Treasures of Montezuma also comes for free for PlayStation Plus. I think actually Treasure Pack and the Treasures of Montezuma you can get for free regardless, but I'm not 100% sure. I also had the enhanced virtual reality, whatever the hell you want to call it, games here, but I've uninstalled those because I really have no intention of playing them. Now, is the Vita a good console for you? Well, it depends on what your expectations are, really. Are you going to be doing a lot of traveling? I mean, are you going to be away from your house for a significant amount of time? Do you just want to get it to play at your house? I mean, I don't know. It doesn't have a particularly good amount of exclusives, let's face it. I mean, this Gaia 3 is available for the PlayStation 3. Ragnarok Odyssey is a game that I can't even talk too much about yet because I barely even played it, so I can't really say much, but it's pretty much kind of like a Monster Hunter type clone thing. Big Sky Infinity is also available on PlayStation 3. Little Big Planet's available on the PlayStation 3. Uncharted, there's several Uncharted's on the PlayStation 3, so I mean, it really is, at the moment, I feel more of a decision if you want to play on the go or not. However, once Soul Sacrifice comes out, which is a game I'm sure you guys are getting excited because, I mean, ENB's making videos about it with the Japanese version and whatnot. Personally, I'm getting excited, but I was excited about that game long before ENB even touched it. So it's just one of the games that I really want to be playing on the Vita. It's just going to take a while before it comes out. I'm not exactly sure when it does come out, but it's bound to first release in Japan, then release in the US, and then I'm probably going to have to import it in Europe because, in all honesty, you see the games I have right here on my Vita? I mean, apart from the stuff that came from PlayStation Plus, Ragnarok Odyssey I imported from Canada. This Gaia 3 I imported from the UK, and it's pretty much everything is imported. You know, I can't find a single game that I really want. I mean, I guess apart from Wipeout, because I've seen Wipeout in Portuguese stores, I can't find a single game that I really want in a Portuguese retail store, which is just ridiculous, because it's like, it's almost like they can't figure out what's going to sell this device, you know? Because all they have there is the basic experiences that you already have available on other platforms. So, I mean, don't, particularly if you live like in a country that is not very relevant technologically, like me, like Portugal, don't judge the content of the Vita by what you see at the at your local retailer, because all they have there right now, as far as I can tell, is trash. In Portugal, it's just complete and utter trash that's available for the Vita on the retail market. So it's just like, like I said, the only really good game I've seen so far is most likely Wipeout. What is it? Wipeout 2048 or something that it's called, and it's really, really good. But anyways, this right here is the PlayStation Store, and through here I can show you what kind of games you can actually get. And this is only in Europe, mind you, so in US you might have a wider choice, because it seems they're having problems updating the store properly, because it just doesn't get updated at all. Oh yeah, I guess Assassin's Creed's probably cool as well. I forgot to mention that. Blaze Blue is also a pretty sweet game. Oh look, it's actually discounted right now for PlayStation Plus. So Blaze Blue is a pretty good fighter if you're into that. If you're into shooters, obviously you have Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified. Chronovolt's a piece of shit. That's really all I can say about it. This Gaia 3 is really, really good. Dungeon Hunter Alliance, I guess it's acceptable. I only really played the Dungeon Hunter. I think I played it once in the PS3 with a couple of friends. It was kind of cool, but I think it's more of a multiplayer experience. Like if you're playing it, the single player is probably not going to be that great. Dynasty Warriors next, if you're into that kind of thing. Me personally, I'm not that much into it. Equilibrium, it's kind of a neat little game. It's like those browser games where you do something and then you have to wait some time before you can do another action. And it's free right now, so you guys are probably reading gratis. That's pretty much the word for free in Portugal. I've heard good things about Escape Plan. Never really played it myself to know. Escape Vector, Everybody's Golf. I don't know about these two games. Either F1 if you're into racing games, FIFA 13 if you're into soccer. I've heard good things about the FIFA 13 from people who are into soccer. They say that it's a really good game. Gravity Rush is amazing. It is a really good game. I will eventually make a video specifically about this game, because this is one of those cases where a game has surprised me. Like if you guys remember, back when I bought my PlayStation 3, I told you guys that one of the things that really surprised me was Uncharted 2, because I wasn't familiar with the franchise, and once I got into it, I got really addicted. Gravity Rush is kind of doing the same thing for me on the Vita. It was a real surprise. I wasn't expecting it to be this good. Hustle Kings, it's kind of a snooker game. I'm not sure if you guys even say snooker, billiard, whatever. It's about, I think you guys know what snooker is. Jet Set Radio, I have no idea what that's about. Jetpack Joyride, no idea what that's about either. It looks like it's free though. Weird. Knit Underground is a platforming weird game. I haven't really gotten around to playing it too much. You got a couple of Lego games. You got Little Big Planet, which is obviously the same experience that you get from PlayStation versions of the Little Big Planet, but it makes more use of the Vita functions, such as the touchscreen. By the way, you can also scroll from the seems that you can't do it on the PlayStation Store, but you can do it in the browser. You can actually scroll from the back as well. And then from M to Z, let's see. You got the Metal Gear Solids, all of the Metal Gear Solids, I think. Apart from one, I don't think you actually get Metal Gear Solid 1 specifically made for the Vita. You have to buy like a PS1 classic version or something. Michael Jackson, don't really care about that. I like his music. I just don't think that it's video game material. MLB, if you're into baseball, whatnot, Modern Nations. Mortal Kombat, real good. But I actually think that the Mortal Kombat on the Vita was kind of a rushed version, because the texture work is just not that good, if I'm to be completely honest. It's just not a very good texture work. And I know that the console can do better, because when you guys see the video that I'm going to be doing about Uncharted, you guys will see. Well, also got some Need for Speed here. You got some Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus. So the whole idea of me going through this list with you guys is to kind of show you what you can expect for the console, instead of you guys going to like a retail store or something, looking up the games they have there, because like I said, they're just going to have crap. And although there is some crap also in the store, let's be honest, there are also some really good games here. So whether or not it's worth to buy highly depends on how much you like these games. Tales from Space is actually a decent game. It's a decent platformer. I'm not sure I would pay for it, but because it's not my style of game. But since I got it for free with PlayStation Plus, I've actually been having fun with it. You're basically a blob, and you eat stuff and grow bigger, and you eat bigger stuff, which is kind of cool. Treasure Space is like a puzzle game. It's kind of cool. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, another fighter. Uncharted Fight for Fortune. I think this is like a card game. I don't know what that's about. Uncharted Golden Abyss is awesome. Virtue's Last Reward, I heard good things about this game too, so if you're into this style of game as well, you can get that. And Wipeout is obviously amazing. Even though I haven't really played it, I can instantly say that it's amazing, because it just is. So other things that you can get for your console, apart from those games, you can get all the games from PSP that are available on the store. Note what I'm saying here, on the store. You cannot purchase PlayStation Portable games and get them to run on this equipment because it does not have a drive thing, as you guys can see. It has nowhere to put your PlayStation Portable discs, so you can't actually go to a retail store and buy a PlayStation Portable disc, but you can come to the store and there's a ton of PlayStation Portable games, among which holy crap, I'm not going to go through this list. There's just a ton. I think it's almost all of the PlayStation Portable games are going to be available here. I'm not going to say all of them, but I think that almost all of them are going to be available. So you can, if you're into PlayStation Portable games, you're going to be able to play your games here. You might have to rebuy them. I'm not sure if there's any kind of program where you can register your PlayStation Portable games and re-download them through the store or anything. I'm not sure. You can also get PlayStation 1 Classic games. So in terms of games, there's a lot of variety. It's just there's not a lot of variety of games made specifically for the Vita, which is why I wanted to show you that particular list that shows you Vita games. Now, whether or not you should buy this console highly depends on the fact if you like the games that I've shown so far or not, because the rest of the stuff that I'm going to show you here is just basic features. Like you already noticed, it has a touchscreen. The touchscreen works fine, and it's not just single touchscreen, it's actually a multi-touchscreen, and I can show you. By the way, if you guys were watching that thing there that said Super Cheats, it's because I was looking up where to find certain materials in Monster Hunter, and the website was just called Super Cheats. So, but anyways, like I said, this is a multi-touch screen, so you can do stuff like this, which is kind of cool when you're browsing and stuff. You can zoom in. It's pretty much like an iPhone. Works pretty much like an iPhone. As a matter of fact, the whole interface seems like it works almost like an iPhone, as you can see, except instead of scrolling sideways like the iPhone, you actually scroll down and up. Now, a couple of more functions that the Vita has is you get this near thing here. I'm only going to talk about stuff that I think is relevant, because I mean, I don't want to show you guys Google Maps, because I mean, that stuff, I just don't think it matters from a gaming perspective. But near is actually a neat little feature, which I think I would enjoy a lot more if I was in a more technologically advanced country, because I mean, obviously there would be more Vitas around than in Portugal. But it actually surprised me the amount of Vitas that are in Portugal. One thing that's disappointing for me is that I've took this Vita with me up north of the country, and I couldn't find a single Wi-Fi spot. And when I finally found one, near didn't work. It wasn't able to get my location data, which I think you're supposed to get bonus items for certain games and whatnot, and you get a lot of bonus stuff for taking your Vita with you places. But obviously this Vita only thinks that it's ever been in my house because it's the only place where I've actually gotten it to detect my location. Like, I've took the Vita to my parents' house. They have Wi-Fi there. It wasn't able to pinpoint the location. It's like, in Portugal, most zones are off the GPS grid. We don't exist. But anyways, you get game goods and stuff, and you get to look. I know that there's some way to see the people that are near me. I'm just not exactly sure how you do that. Also, if you notice that my screen is a little bit dirty, it's actually quite clean. It's just from, because it has a protection around it. It's just obviously, you know that human hands all have grease. All of them, at all times, human hands have grease. So it's going to... You're going to notice that on your screen, which is sometimes annoying, but it's just the way these things work. Can I see how many people are close to me? I know that there was a way to watch that, but... Oh, looks like I'm topping the charts for number of people. Oh, there we go. Oh. Have number of people playing, 1 out of 38. Yeah, it's me. I'm the only person playing this. Oh, there we go. You see, these are people that are near me that also have Vitas, which I find is kind of a neat little feature. But as you can see, in an 8-kilometer radius, there's a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 Vitas in an 8-kilometer radius. So you guys can tell that I'm like, I'm not in a very good zone to make good use of this feature. But it's fun. You can see what people are playing. And people sometimes this automatically leaves items for you. Like, let's say someone is playing Big Sky Infinity, there's a chance they'll leave an item for you, and then you get like extra star bits or whatever for Big Sky Infinity, which is just kind of a neat little feature. You also have this content manager is to transfer stuff between your computer or your PlayStation and your Vita. And then you also have a photo program, which I'm just going to show you for a reason here, which is the fact that you can use photos for any of the cameras. Yes, this application uses location data. Yes. Anyways, as you can see here, this is the frontal camera, which is why it's picking me up, as well as all this equipment I have filming the Vita. And then you can, oops, that's not really what I wanted to do, but how do you switch cameras? I think it's like this. Yeah, and then there's this, which is the back camera of the Vita. So it pretty much picks up the backside. If I flip it around, I'm such an idiot. I was like, if I flip it around, you guys are going to be able to see me. Yeah, never mind that. But anyways, this is what's sitting in front of me. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that you can pick between the two cameras. You can also film videos. It has decent quality, what you can really expect for a device like this, but it doesn't really matter. You can download applications like Live Tweet, Skype, Facebook, and you can use that to chat online. You can also access your messages from PSN on the Vita, like let's say someone sends you a message to your PlayStation 3, you can also access it here. Another neat little feature that you guys might not be aware of is Remote Play. Now, Remote Play is a feature that might actually be used in the future to so that Sony can say, you know, Nintendo, you guys got your Wii U controller, we got the PlayStation Vita, so we can pretty much do the same thing. So you can use this to connect to your PlayStation, and I believe there's already a couple of games where you can use this as a controller and you get additional features. Right now what I'm actually doing, oops, right now what I'm actually doing is you can access your PlayStation and fool around with it. It doesn't support all of your games yet. I'm not exactly sure what they're waiting for, because let's be honest, this is just streaming video from your PlayStation to your Vita. So in my opinion, it should just support all games. As a matter of fact, I believe there's already hacks out there which allow you to play all of the games on your PlayStation. But Sony's probably testing it out and fooling around with it a little bit more, fleshing it out before they actually allow you to do that. But right now, there are a couple of games that you can play, like Echo and Shadow of the Colossus. You can also play God of War, and those are just the two games that I know that I can play, but I know that there's more. Let me just give you a little bit of a showing here of what you can expect. Also, don't worry about the moving around too much. I just did it like this for this particular episode so that you could get a good look at the Vita, because I already made a ghetto stand so that the Vita doesn't move when I'm actually filming Vita footage. But I'm not sure if I should show you Eco or Shadow of the Colossus. Let's go Shadow of the Colossus. I'll just fool around with the horse a little bit. I do believe that, however, this is extremely limited in the distance that you can take it away from the PlayStation 3, because the video stream starts breaking up. I've tried taking my Vita to the living room and playing God of War there, and it just did not work out. Did not work out at all. Let's see if I can just get something started here. Oh yeah, you also need to select your controls as type 2 so that you have access, I believe, to L2 and R2 or whatever. Okay, there we go. And this thing right here, oops, that's not really what I want to do. Okay, assign buttons, type 2. So if you press select plus L1 or L2, if you press select plus L1, it gives you L2. Press select plus R1, but there are other types which I actually prefer. I would much prefer like this. I'm not sure if you can start the game like this, though. I think you have to start it in type 2, because Sony kind of limited that. Oops. How do I get out of here? There. And now I need to get back to the game. So I need to... There. Okay. So this is done. Wonder if they want me to press... Yeah, they want you to press like R2 or L2 to confirm that you did what they wanted you to do. But I do think that this is a feature that has a lot of potential if Sony just seriously gets off their asses and enables this for more games, because as it is now, it's not that amazing. It's just a couple of games. If you enable this for all games, I mean, people will be a lot happier to buy a Vita, because it's like, oh, I can just play my game in the living room with my girlfriend while she's watching TV, and I can wirelessly stream the game to my Vita and still enjoy the experience. Now, obviously, some games you want to experience on the big screen, but some games you, or maybe just you don't mind for a little while of, maybe you just don't mind playing a game on the smaller screen for a little while, so that your girlfriend or your significant other half can fool around with the television. I'm just gonna load here and show you guys what kind of frame rate and graphics you can expect. But let's face it, this is not as sharp as if it was an actual Vita game. This is, you can notice a little bit of the video compression, especially if you're in the video editing business like me. You can definitely notice a little bit of the video compression, but it is most definitely not that significant. Can you skip this stuff? Yeah, you can. Good. I just want to mount the horse and show some horse riding. There. See, these are the controls. You can notice a little bit of lag, but you can play Shadow of the Colossus on your. You can play Shadow of the Colossus on your Vita, which more than makes up for the lag in my book, anyways. So there's a little. You obviously don't get the same frame rate you get in your PlayStation, but the game looks pretty damn good in my book. Like, I'm looking at it in the camera screen here, and it just looks gorgeous, because the display on this thing is amazing. It has a really sharp display, so it's just one of the things that you can fool around with your Vita. How did you attack again? It was square, right? Yeah. So yeah, it's a neat little thing that you can do. Now, how do I quit game? Yeah, you have to press right here, and it should allow me to quit game. There. And you can fool around with your PlayStation. You can do other things. Unfortunately, there's something that I really wanted to do with this Vita PlayStation interaction, and I wasn't able to do it, which is I wanted to be able to access the PlayStation 3 store, and just so that I wouldn't have to switch screens, go to the store. I could just pump this baby up, you know, go to the store through my PlayStation Vita and check out what's new in the store. Instead, the way it is now for me, I have to change monitors from PC to PlayStation, and it's a little bit of a hassle that this feature could really help reduce. But still, it's a good feature. You can see that it still lags a little bit, whatnot, but it's definitely a good feature, and I think they got a good thing here if they just bother developing it. Now, you can also do the PlayStation Vita supports multiple operations at the same time. So like, I could launch this, then I could launch Monster Hunter at the same time. Monster Hunter is just an icon that my finger automatically goes to. It's like anything I want to do is like, oh, Monster Hunter, boop. My finger just automatically hovers over to Monster Hunter, which is pretty funny. This game contains scenes of violence and gore. Capcom, Dolby, ProLogic, blah, blah. I shouldn't even be supporting Capcom after what they did to me with their copyright crap. But anyways, like I said, you can then do this, and you have both the applications you're running, or however many things you happen to be running at the same time. You can switch between them, you can go back, or you can just scroll through them. You know, it's just a neat little feature to have, in my opinion. Also, some games support background music playing, so you can have like your music player open. Unfortunately, the ones that I do care about don't support that. Not that I do care about, but the ones that I would like to have this feature don't really support it, which is weird. I mean, I can't really play music right now. I guess I could play maybe something from Fix-It. Let me just see. Playlists, genres, songs. Okay, we got some Blue Stolly here. So as you can see, you can be playing music, and then you can make this thing go away. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't really work on Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, so I'll just pop up another game so that you guys can check that. Let's see. What games does it work on? I know it works on this guy, so... As you can see, game is running, music is still going. Jesus, focus camera, what the hell's wrong with you? And from within the game, you can just press the PlayStation button, pause the music, resume it, put it forward, whatever, increase the volume, lower the volume, which is pretty convenient, I have to say. Boom. But as you can see, you got this guy at 3, and then, whoops. If I wanted to hear music on top of that, which you obviously shouldn't be doing because it's pretty confusing listening to both the game's soundtrack, but some games it would be really, really useful in. Like in Monster Hunter, I would very much like to listen to music while I'm hunting. Same thing for Ragnarok Odyssey, I would like to listen to music while I'm hunting there as well. Fortunately, on those two games, it doesn't work. I don't know why. I just don't know why. So at the end of the day, whether or not getting a Vita is a good thing for you depends on if you like the games that you saw on that playlist. If you're just fanatic about this type of hardware, the handheld hardware. And it's funny that I'm doing this video because a couple of, I think even more than a year ago, me and a couple of friends were discussing it. It was before the Vita was even launched. We were discussing the Vita and I was telling my friends, that console is a piece of crap. It doesn't matter because the iPhone's going to completely dominate the handheld market when it comes to gaming. And in a way, it kind of does. The iPhone does kind of dominate the market. But the thing is, my iPhone, the one that I have, is a really old model that I got for free when I worked at a company. It's a 3G model, so it's like, what, it's second generation, I think. So it's so old that it doesn't run any of the current apps. Like any of them. Like I'll go to the App Store, the Apple Store, Apple App Store, and I can't download anything, which kind of irritates me. So I was like, man, I should get a new iPhone, but it's like a new iPhone is ridiculously priced, like 600 euros or something. And then PlayStation Plus came along, and again, I mean, as fun as it is to game on an iPhone, an iOS type device, it doesn't have any buttons. So, I mean, you can't game as well on a device like that as you can on a device like this. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up all I had to say about the Vita. Now, if I can give you one piece of advice is, if you're excited about the Vita mostly due to Soul Sacrifice, my advice would be go ahead and wait for the bundle package that's going to come out. Because there's going to be a bundle package coming out for Soul Sacrifice, as far as I'm aware. And it comes with a neat logo and whatnot. A neat logo on the back of your Vita, comes with Soul Sacrifice game, comes with some cool art. I don't know, there's just a bundle coming for your Vita, which if all you want is Soul Sacrifice, you might want to wait until that bundle comes out. But me personally, I have to say I'm loving my Vita. I find myself playing it more and more due to games like Gravity Rush, Disgaea, Monster Hunter, Ragnarok. I've been playing my Vita recently more than my computer, which is weird considering that we just had a Steam sale and all that stuff. But anyways, I'm going to bring you guys some more Vita footage, games for the Vita and whatnot through New Game Plus. So you guys can look forward to that. And this is going to be it regarding my Vita overview. Should you get it or not, it's really up to you. Me personally, I'm loving it so far. I like the fact that it has PlayStation Plus. I do not like the fact that I've only seen 2 really big promotions on PlayStation Plus so far, which has been a little bit disappointing, Sony. Not to mention that the PlayStation Plus launch in Europe was pretty crappy when compared to the PlayStation launch in the US, which was damn good. Came with Wipeout and all kinds of cool stuff. Not in Europe. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. Leave me your feedback in the comment section below. All that kinds of good stuff. Like if you enjoyed it. And yeah, decide for yourself if you should get a Vita or not, because I can't really tell you go get a Vita or don't get a Vita. It's really up to you. And I don't think anyone can really advise anyone else, like, you need to buy this thing. It's like, it's really up to the person itself if they need to buy it or not. But this is my opinion on the Vita. I am really, really liking it so far, but you guys already know the reasons why. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.